welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Max Power. Tonight I'm going to do some leftovers. I've got a pork roast that I cooked on Sunday. I'm going to make a blackberry orange glaze along with a sweet potato puree. I've got a nice large sweet potato, about 4 cloves of garlic. I do have my water boiling already. Need granulated garlic, some blackberries, orange marmalade, some cornstarch, some chicken broth. I'm going to use fresh nutmeg, some ginger, and about a cup of orange juice, which I probably won't use all of that. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take the skin off of my potato, cut it up, and get it into the water. It's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes for the potato to cook, and at the same time I'll start the glaze. You're also going to need either a food processor, blender, or an electric mixer. So let's go ahead and get the potato going. Get as much skin off as you can. Just go ahead and cut it into some pieces. This is going to serve about 3 people on this one. And I'm also putting my garlic into the boiling water as I cook the potato. So we're going to go ahead and put our potatoes and our garlic into our boiling water. And we'll go ahead and get my other pan going. We're going to need the chicken broth. Not much. We'll go ahead and bring that up a little bit. Add some of the orange juice. You don't need much. Some of our granulated garlic. And a couple good scoops of the orange marmalade. We need to bring this up to a boil. So we need to go ahead and start stirring our glaze. And you're going to see some bubbles come up on it. That's because of the heat. You want to make sure that the marmalade jelly has pretty much dissolved itself before we add the blackberries. I'm going to turn the heat down to about 5. And I'm going to continue letting that cook for a few minutes. From there I'm going to go ahead and slice up my meat. If I had a meat slicer I could do it, but it's kind of nice this way too. Until we cut a finger off. And that last piece just doesn't want to go. If it happened to be a rolled roast, you want to go ahead and get the string off of it, because there's no sense in eating any string. Give a little piece to the dog. I'll go ahead and lay it back up on my plate. There's a cameraman's piece. And I'm going to put it into my oven, which I have preheated for 225 degrees. Keep stirring the glaze. And take a look on the potatoes. And from here I should be able to go ahead and add some of the blackberries. If you don't have blackberries, you can actually use blackberry jelly if you want to. Or just get some frozen veggies. And from here we want to go ahead and get our electric mixer ready. About on medium you want to do this so you don't get a good splash going on it. And you want to try to get the consistency of what jelly would be like. You just keep stirring it around. You're eventually going to see that all the blackberries have been chopped up or cut up. Once you see that, you can increase the speed a little bit. Just be careful, it's very hot. So we're going to go ahead and blend up our glaze. Remember, this is still very hot. And then go ahead and stick it back into the pan. Check our consistency of our potato. Just take a fork, kind of give it a little poke. We still got some good time left on this. The garlic is looking nice. Continue stirring the blackberry marmalade. You're going to start to get a good foam coming up on the top of it. Need to reduce the heat again down to about 1 or 2. We're only going to cook this down for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and add some starch to thicken it up. So I've continued stirring, and it is starting to cook down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get my potatoes out. Put them back in. I've already got my other burner going in the back. We're going to go ahead and whip these up a little bit. We're going to need the orange juice, the nutmeg, chicken broth, ginger, and the pepper. Use some of my chicken broth, some of my orange juice, some ginger, a little bit of granulated garlic. I might add some butter to it depending on the consistency. You can use regular nutmeg. My sister got this for me. This is actually real nutmeg. And I'm just going to grind it on my little nutmeg grinder. And add a little bit to that. I am also going to go ahead and put a little butter in it. And I do mean a little this time. And I'm going to whisk it. It's going to be kind of the consistency of mashed potatoes, but a little bit runnier. And I could have used a smaller pot for the amount that I was making, but I needed my medium saucepan for the glaze. I'll stir the glaze up a little bit more. So I'm going to get my cornstarch, about a spoon of it, into about a quarter cup of water. I'll mix that up a little bit. I'm going to add this to the glaze. The glaze is going to turn white. Well, not really white, but once it gets clear again, you can start getting the thickening agent. And we'll be just about ready. In fact, it's already starting to thicken up already. Bring the heat up a little bit. Look at the meat, which is doing fine. Go ahead and top off our puree. And we should just be about ready to plate up the meat. So we're just about ready to dish it up. Go ahead and get the meat out of the oven. I'm going to take a couple nice pieces. I'm going to get the sweet potato puree. We'll put a nice dab on the side. And I like just to kind of make it look pretty. I'm going to take some of our glaze, which is very, very, very hot. And we're just going to pour it over the meat just a little bit. And here is our sweet potato puree with our blackberry marmalade over our leftover roasted pork. From there, just keep having fun in the kitchen and we'll see you again.